Hello there. I believe you are blessed wherever you are. Right. I would love to say blessed week in advance all over the world, regardless of the color of the skin, tribe, or nation. Right. I will say to you, I know there are many things that are happening all over the world. Jesus is the answer. Continue kneeling down and praying. God answers prayers. Right. We are in Temple Conference this week. We want to go back because I've been watching in social media, special on our Facebook. There is a lot of things that people they were saying. What made me is people were saying that our prophecies they are new. So we went back. That's why we're having a television, so that we will play back. As we are talking about Botswana, we want to talk about elections that will come in Botswana. 2024. So I would love to take Botswana people back on what we said. What God said 2019. We went back because we didn't have that video. We downloaded it. We brought the video here. We are having the video we're going to play since we're in table conference. We are going to play only 3 prophecies of Botswana. I know there are 5 or 6, but we're going to play 3 of them. I believe they will make sense to everyone who will watch our table conference. And it will make a sense to everyone who is a believer, what God has been saying and what is the way forward. I know they are going to elections. To the 2 countries, 3 countries are going to the elections. One is Zim is going to the elections very soon. We are going to have a table conference and talk speak the mind of God, what God is saying about Zim elections and what people are they supposed to expect. But now we are in Botswana. We are going to again have a table conference and talk about the elections of South Africa, as they are going to go to elections again next year. But now we'll stick to Botswana because I saw a lot of people, they are having questions. They are having a lot of questions without answers. So we decided that we sit down again. We answer those questions that they were raising. You know, I will say this in the world. There is nothing that makes us strong than critics. Critics, they are making us stronger. Critics, they don't bring us down. Critics, they don't drag us down. Critics, they make us who, they have made us who we are. We are where we are today because of being criticized. We have been criticized a lot. Many, they've said we are not going to go anywhere. We are not going to make it. Unfortunately, we are turning even a lot of years now. We're still walking with this Jesus. Right. I will say this. What God said in Botswana 2020 is about Botswana 2019. We are going to try to zoom the video and bring it, the prophecy, and bring it closer to you. That's the thing of table conference. Why we do table conference? Table conference, that's where we explain prophecies. What was God saying? What people are they supposed to expect? Since politics, it affects everyone. I saw others, they were commenting that Christians, they mustn't say anything about politics. It's funny because those people are God's people. And Christians are the ones who goes again in fought. That's why you find politicians, to those all who say Christians, they mustn't say something about politics. Why politicians, when they are campaigning, they go to churches? Why you see them, this president in churches wearing gowns, others singing with the people? They need votes. So you cannot say pastors, they must stay away from, or prophets, they must stay away from politics. But politicians, when they want, they come to our churches again and sing and do everything. So we have a right to speak the mind of God and to say what really God will do, what will happen. So we are in Botswana today because I saw a lot of questions. I saw a lot of things that they were said by Botswana people. But I want to say what will happen, what is happening. As I said, in 2019, I will take you back. In 2019, God said, I believe that was the first prophecy of Botswana. God said to me, you must tell the president. He was still the president, 2018, sorry. 2018, he was still the president by that time, Kama. God said, you tell him that he will do a mistake. But unfortunately, I said that thing after he left the office. He left the office. He was only few months after he left the office. I said that you have to rectify his mistake and correct it. Why? Because God was aware that they were going to fight. God was aware that if he doesn't rectify his mistake, he was going to be in exile. What I love about what I heard from Ian Kama, Kama is using the words of this prophets that will pray. I want to correct my mistake that I did. Before, he wasn't calling that man mistake. I remember 2019 people, they were saying, why are you calling a human being a mistake? So you think that God, he created this man by mistake? No, it's not personally. You cannot take prophecies personally. That was the way that God is saying. He says, since he is the leader, he must rectify his mistake and correct it. I am a man. I have a way of a way of putting my things on my own. So me, I said he must correct his mistake. Them, they said, you are calling this man a mistake. I'm happy on his statement a few weeks ago. That's what he's saying. I want to correct the mistake. My mistake I did. That man must come out. Then I said to people, this man is watching our videos. And this man he watched this prophecy. He knows really what I said. That it was his mistake for this fight that is happening, the thing that is going between Botswana people. Remember, Botswana country was a country whereby there was no political stories. We never heard stories from Botswana. Botswana was a peaceful nation. People are united. But who created this? It's him. Why? He created this because remember, when you're a president, you choose who's going to succeed you after. You have to choose. In that thing, it wasn't the party that was going to vote. It was Kama was supposed to choose. If he didn't choose that man, he wasn't going to be a president. If he didn't choose again that man, he wasn't going to be sitting on a chair today. Then I heard him saying, I want to correct my mistake. Then I say, he watched that prophecy. He watched the prophecy, because on the prophecy, that's what I said. He has to rectify and correct his what? His mistake. So now he's using this thing. But there is something that he doesn't understand. That things, they don't go the way you think. They won't go the way he thinks that they will go. Here we are having three prophecies. The one of 2019, since they were saying we are new, I want to take them back to 2019. The second one, I spoke about Botswana politicians, they will run and go to exile. He first went to exile. I was watching last week, since we're entering a new week. The one was leading the Kama party, a woman. She ran away. She went to exile. So those are things that they're supposed to listen to the videos. What God is saying. So I remember I say in another prophecy, if he plans to go back to Botswana, he will cause a chaos. But we didn't put that prophecy here. I believe it's there on YouTube and Facebook. I saw it's trending. It's having a lot of followers, thousands. So I said if you go back to Botswana, he will cause a chaos. Who started the chaos? It's him, or let me say it's them. Because when a president and a vice president, they don't love one another, it's impossible that one, if he steps down, is going to be treated good or fairly. Because you can't have two bulls in one house. One way the other, one must jump the hole and go, and the one remain behind. Even cows, they do that. You can't take two bulls and put them in one place. One way the other, you tear your jura hole apart, because they will fight. So those are the things that I was talking about when I was talking about Botswana. That they are going to stain the politics of Botswana and make it a dirty politics. Because we are used. When you talk about dirty politics, you talk about Zim, we are used. We are used. You talk about Nigeria, we are used. You talk about, they call it Guinea, where they take a gun, they put a president today. Tomorrow they plan to take a gun, a command, and remove a president. And him, when he's sitting, someone take a gun and remove. We have seen that. So they, as Botswana people, there were people who were not known in this political bad cloud, that in Botswana this, in Botswana that. So God warned them 2018. God warned them 2019. So I'm going to take you to the video of 2019. We hear what God said. I believe on the video you are going to see that it's not this church, one. Two, a lot of things they are different on the video. So I need you to see why we are bringing video. Because I heard other people, someone say, you know, your prophecies, they don't come to pass. You said Kama is dying. I say, no, you are a fool. We didn't say Kama is dying. We said Kama is depressed. That will lead him to what? To death. He is not himself is depressed. Where did they get that? Where did they get that? To their newspapers. Because the guy who wrote the newspaper, I phoned him. I said, who said Kama is dying? I still have the message here. I said, I didn't say Kama is dying. I said Kama is depressed, is not himself. If you don't put him in prayers, it will lead him to what? To death. A sickness that will kill him. He will develop a sickness that will kill him. Meaning that wherever he is depressed but is fine, is not himself only, because depression is a spirit. So this man, he went to our platform, he said, you said Kama is dying. I said, that's your paper that said that. We never say Kama is dying. We said Kama was depressed. That's what God told me. And if you don't pray for him, it will lead that. Right. If God was lying, how did he say, why did he say they must pray and rectify the mistake? It was 2019, before they start wars, before even start running away, before even they start fighting one another. I said that before even they start fighting one another. I say he has done a mistake. Why? Because they pointed each other with finger, thinking that they know each other. But trouble will start. And trouble, they started now. Where he is now, he's in exile. He's in exile now. 2022, I said, all of them, what will happen in Botswana? They will come after everyone who's opposing. And all, they will end up in what? In exile. Kama is in exile and the brother, they are in South Africa. I don't know where the woman ran to, because I was reading on their thing that she ran away. She's the one who was top there leading Kamasa. So we want to know the mind of God. Since he is outside the country, he is vowing to bring that man down. How is he going to do it while he's not inside the country, while he's outside? That's a question I believe many people, they have to ask themselves. Remember, I said February 2021, he will be arrested. I said, pray for him, he will be arrested. Before even this arrest thing came on the picture, I said, he will be arrested, this man. God is saying he will be arrested. Put him in prayer. The problem about politicians, they think that they know everything. They think that they understand everything better. But it's not that. At the end, God, he can't talk to politicians. He talks to those who are chosen. So they are the mouth of God. How did I know that will be arrested? How did I know that they are starting a chaos? I'm not a Botswana. I'm not in Botswana. I'm not in politics. How did I know? Why did I say? It was February. It was Corona lockdown. No one was coming outside. I just came in the morning. Let me say I come in the morning and say, pray for this president, this former president to be arrested. It's impossible for you to know such thing. Only God is the one who can give you that mind for you to see those things. It's God who can give you that mind. Right. That one we didn't bring it here because we're going to take 2 hours again. We're going to take 2 hours instead of 1 hour table conference. Right. We are going to go to the prophecy. I needed to hear what God said. All right. Let's play the prophecy, the first one in the center. That's the one that we will play. I needed to check wherever you are. You check everything that is happening here. Things that are happening here. Right. We are going to play this prophecy. I need you to listen what God said here. I need you, they will zoom play. They will zoom so that you see again the date. Maybe you can see the date there. I believe you can see the date on top there. 1 September 2019. Can you put the volume up? Can you pause it there? I want to say something. Right. Right, we'll pause it there. It means that I said this thing, Botswana going to elections 1 month after. Because when you hear I'm saying they are going to elections in a month time. Meaning I said, and there's something that here I jumped, or that I said. I said their elections won't be walkover. Remember, Botswana was dominated by one party for a long time. If you listen here, I'm saying that thing of one party dominating, it will what? To stop from now. That's what I said here 2019. That thing of dominating one party state, one party ruling, one party being loved by people, it will what? It will stop. And that's what happened here after here. That's what happened. There are a lot of party. Kama, when he pulled out, he opened his own party again. That's the one that he is vowing that he will bring majority down and whatever. So here, when you listen, you hear here, I'm saying that thing of dominating one state party, it will be over. So it was before they go to elections. You know, I will say this, before here, I wasn't even, before God he told me about Botswana, I wasn't interested on what is happening in Botswana. I wasn't interested what is going on there in Botswana. But after God spoke and their response in Botswana, that's when I say, okay, these people, they wish to know what God is saying. That's why I've been asking God, what is it? What will happen after? And what will happen next? What will happen next? If you check this prophecy, was the first prophecy I never said anything about Botswana. This is the first one, 2019. I've been carrying mic for a long time. I believe Botswana was the first prophecy that I said. Right, play the prophecy, let's hear. Right, pause it there. Right. Here I'm saying Botswana people, they must correct their what? Their mistake. That their former president did, putting his friend in what? In office. There was no fight among these people. It was a fight under the what? The carpet. You know when big elephant they are fighting, they fight on the bushes, no one can see them. If you see them starting fighting on the street, that fight is out of order. So this fight was a fight under the what? The carpet. By that time, 2019. Meaning no matter they were disagreeing, they didn't want people to know that they are what? They are disagreeing. What made them to disagree? That's a question. You served under me as my vice president. Tomorrow we are fighting until you run away. What was the problem? They didn't know each other. Meaning that one treated one as a boss and another one treated one as an employee. So there was a problem there for them to think that they know one another. Right. One treated one as a boss. One treated one as a what? As an employee. So that's where it went wrong. That's the thing that made them to, now when that one took over office, he said, okay, I will show you that now I'm the boss. Before you were a boss, now I'm the boss. It doesn't affect these people. It affects ordinary people on the what? On the ground. That's why I was saying, Botswana people, they must pray. They must correct their mistake. Why? Because their politics is about to take a wrong what? A wrong path. Why was I saying that? God was telling me that their politics now will start being covered by the cloud that is covering a lot of African what? African countries. You know there are countries in Africa that no matter you hear that they rigged the election, you just say amen, praise the Lord. That's their strategy, you understand? You hear that, there they were carrying gun, they removed the president by force. You say amen, praise the Lord. You don't even ask God anymore. Because those people are capable of doing anything, anytime. Why? Because it's something that happens on them. But where there is peace now, when peace is about to be disturbed, that's why God, he say, I warn you. If people, they take this path, these people, the problem that will happen, they will disturb their own peace. They will join all these countries that are in a political what? A cloud that is covering them. These countries that are in a political cloud that is known by everyone, that it's not a new thing if it's happening in such a country. So here I was warning them that first I said the warning from God, that dominating of one party is over. Meaning God was aware that they are going to have parties that will oppose them. Regardless, they were there, those who were there existing by that time, meaning they were not effective. But when God was talking 2019, God was instructing that now it's about to be a game changer. Whosoever will lead that party mustn't think that we will lead it peaceful and everything will go what? Peaceful. Things will change. Right. Can you play? Let's hear. Pause it there. Right. Here, God was telling me about tribes in Botswana. Tribes will be divided. Right. I was talking to one of the men who was very wiser, who was closer up in Botswana. He was telling me that, I didn't know. He said to me, Papa, are you aware that Kama is a king? I saw he was a king and a president. He said, correct. He was born a king. He told me the tribe that is leading. He said, what is happening now is that prophecy of 2019. Now there is tribe division now. In Kama's party that he formed, I don't know the truth, but he was telling me, the party that he formed, if you are not from that tribe, it's like you are not welcome. That's what he said. He said, it's a tribe thing. I said, he's a king. He said, yes, he's a king. So I said, so God was fine when he was telling me 2019 that these people, they will divide tribes, they start fighting. He said, it's already divided here. What makes him to say whatever he says? He is a king of another tribe. Then it made sense. This prophet started making sense. That, okay, God was aware. I wasn't aware that he was a king. He said, no, he is a king wherever he is, no matter he's in exile. He's still a king of his own people. Do you get me? You get me now? He is a king. While he was a president, he was still a what? A king. When he stepped down to be a president, he became a what? A king for that tribe. So here, God was saying 2019, Botswana people will fight. But tribe what? Tribe war. Listen, God doesn't want to see people fighting. We are going to talk about Kenya in our second conference, table conference. The prophets that I posted for Kenya 2 days ago, the vision I saw. God doesn't support someone who brings division. God is a God of what? Of peace. You understand what I'm saying? So God was aware that no matter he leaves his presidential leadership, he still has power and influence that he can divide these people. Then until one of them said, are you aware that he's a king? I said, he's a king. He said, yes. Kama is a king. Regardless president is a king of his tribe. That one, no one can take it. You can't vote for it. Then I say, okay, now it makes sense what God said. This confusion that we see, it makes sense. Because this confusion, God spoke about 2019, that there will be a division of tribes. So here God is talking about tribe, that they will fight tribes. So he told me that man, say, I don't want to lie, man of God, I saw the prophecy that you prophesied. There is division here. There is big division. And I watched your prophecy of 2019 when you said there will be a division. But I don't know that, are you aware that he's a king? I didn't know that he's a king. So now you understand. Huh? You understand this prophecy. When God is saying there will be divided tribes, he's a leader of another tribe already. Can that tribe goes with those, the one who will be ruling? No. is wrong. So now people, they what? They will fight. And this thing doesn't affect politicians. It affects ordinary what? Ordinary people. I believe here we have heard the point here. We want to go to the second video before we answer the question. Right. On the second video that we selected, God say, those who are going, he said there will be a chaos in Botswana's politics that will lead a lot of people to what? To exile. All right. I'm not talking about him who's already out. I'm talking about those who are left inside. God was talking about those who are left inside. This week I tried to Google and take that thing because I was reading it. That the leader, she's a woman. They said she ran away Botswana because she said she was being persecuted. A lot of things were happening. She was being persecuted, so she decided to run away. I don't know where she ran and went away. So now we are going to play that video again. You put it on standby so that we understand the problem about prophecy. Prophets talk about now, history, and future. That's why many people, they don't understand it. That one, that side. You hold it there. The problem why people, they don't understand prophecy. Prophets talk about now, history, and the what? And the future. It's like when I come to you and say, where is your father? It doesn't mean that I don't know where is your father. I know. And I know what's going on. But there is one thing that God loves. He loves confession. Because there are people who goes to church, not for help, but to behave funny. You understand what I'm saying? I come to you and say, where's your father? You say, my father. There is remember the family that, there was a family that came early last year. There were 3 brothers. I prophesied, they started crying, if you still remember. Then I said, go and bring all your family. And they gathered, they gathered, they were going to Sangomas and whatever. I told them what was the cause of the problem. They thought that their brother is killing them. And me, I said, no, it's not your brother. The problem, 1, 2, 3, from your fathers, from your grandfathers to your father, now is in you. Gather and come. Then when they want to come now, they want to negotiate. They want us to break our rules of the church to accommodate them. Then we refused. So prophecy, it is an eye-opener. If we check here, it was 2019. If they rectified this mistake, they prayed. They were not going to even come. I wasn't going to be in exile. You understand? I heard that my son was sending me that he was interviewed. He was vowing, say, I will make sure, I will make sure. It's good to say you will make sure. But what does God say about that? Because every power comes from above. Is it God agreeing with what you want to go and do? Is it God agreeing with what you are planning to do? That's the thing. Right here, I will take you to the to Botswana people. I will take you to the prophecy where I said they are gonna go to exile, and I need you to watch this video and put it into your brains. In English, they say, "Believe me, you." What will happen? The moment they go to elections, a lot of them that are vocal or whatever, their opposition, they will be in exile. You get me? So now when you vow, you say, I will fight. It's like you want to fight someone in the house, you are outside. It's impossible. You can kill windows, but you cannot smash me. You understand? Pause there. All right. We go back there. There is one thing about prophecy. When you are a prophet, you don't change your words, because God doesn't change the statement. Here I was continuing. I say, if you hear, I say, I don't want to know his name. 1. 2, they have to rectify and correct their mistake, because they are gonna what? They are going to what? To fight. Right. If you hear the dates there, I mentioned the date that I said they must pray for him, you will be surrendered to the corpse. I remember it was 4 o'clock in the morning when I shot that video. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. If you watch that clip on Facebook, I address people, then I say, I know in Africa, men, they are still what? They are still sleeping. It was past 3 to 4. I say, men in Africa, especially in such a region, we are still listening. Pray for your former president. He will be surrendered to the what? To the corpse. To the hands of his enemies. All right. Who was saying that? It was God now. Why God was he saying that? Meaning that whatsoever they were planning to hide, it wasn't a matter anymore that you can what? You can hide. It was a matter whereby everyone, you will see it, that there is tension here. Then God is saying, no, okay, he will be surrendered to the hands of enemies. I still remember what Botswana people, they say to me. I still remember they insulted, they said, critics, if you hear in this prophecy, I'm saying, you people, you are good in insulting things that you don't know. The Bible says in 2 Peter 10, in 2 Peter 2 verse 10, these people, they are not afraid to say evil things about God's anointed people. If you see yourself having authority, I don't know who gives you that authority, to open your mouth and insult God's people. You insult things that you don't know. Then I'm saying here, you people, you are very good in insulting things that you don't know. When you read in 2 Peter 2:12, you say, they blaspheme with things that they don't know. They are like animals without brains. God is saying they are like animals without what? Without brains. Because the brains of animals for eating and drinking what? And drinking water, they don't think. Meaning that God was saying, there are people outside who doesn't think. They don't think. They just speak like that. So here I was talking about, there will be a big tension. There will be a big war. That's why you find that we end up in Botswana newspapers. We end up in Botswana newspapers. But I'm happy Kama is my friend now. I believe he is following me all the time to hear what God is saying. Because he wasn't going to use the word mistake. Because before he saw the video, I don't think he was going to see that it was a mistake. He's using it as a mistake because it's God who said it is what? It's a mistake. So if God condemns you, no matter you are a leader, it means that God, he departed from you. You understand what I'm saying? You can be a ruler like Saul. Saul, God departed from him. He continued to be a king. Not because God was agreeing with Saul. No. The anointing of Samuel that was poured in Saul, that's the only thing that was holding God to deal with Saul. Right. What's it there? Right. I believe you get the point. We want to get the point only. Those who want this video, I believe you can Google it on YouTube, Botswana Prophets. But this one, I don't know the date. I cannot tell you the date, but I believe it was 2021 or so. Right. The point here is they will shut them down. And men will go to what? To exile. I was watching Botswana. It's not Karma alone now. That woman ran away. How many are they going to run away before next year? A lot. Then the issue here, he was still inside the country when I was prophesying. Do you get me? Karma was still inside the country. Meaning that God was aware that he's having power to rectify and correct whatever I want to correct. That was 2019. Do you understand me? He had power to correct. The problem, we want to act when we feel like now is the right what? The right time. But God's time is always the what? The best all the time. When God was talking here, he was still inside Botswana. Now he's outside. Maybe he can enter as a ghost. That's what I can say. Because here he was inside the country. But in this prophet I'm talking about, he has already ran away. But 2019's prophets that we played, he was still inside the country, Botswana. So whatever he wanted, whatever God wanted him to do, or whatever he wanted to do, he was still able to do it. Do you get me? A soap is a soap when there is water. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't go on the Sunday and start rubbing a soap on your face on the water. Nothing will happen. Because soap was created to work with what? With water. Same applies prophecy. When God instructs you, move where you are. You don't move a week, you move after a week. God has departed. Do you get me? So now what makes him to vow and whatever? That one is anger and depression. You'll be seeing that I was supposed to do this. But you fool yourself again and say, I still have power to what? To do this. Do you get me? Remember when he said he's going back, I didn't put it here. When he said he's going back to his country, what did I say? I say if he goes there, he gets grace. And I pray he doesn't what? He doesn't go. And God heard my prayers, because I even said there in that prophecy, I know politicians, their ego is too much. He can go with his ego up there. He will meet things that a lot will happen. Confusion. A lot of confusion will happen. But he saw it coming. Did he go? No. Then the question is it, how is he going to rectify, since he's using the word mistake that I used in 2019, how is he going to rectify and correct the mistake? God has departed. That's the problem about you people. Wake up in the morning, go and bathe to the sea, you will see. You stay 3 days, after 3 days you bathe, you remain blind and say, that prophet was a lie, I'm still blind. God said wake up and that day, go and bathe. You took 3 days to go where you are supposed to go. Because there will be an angel that is instructed to take care of you. Same applies when God was talking here, meaning that God was going to make his enemies powerless. But now the time is what? Is over. His enemies, they've gained strength. They are powerful now. That's why he ended up departing from that country, running away. So the question, how is he going to enter? As you're asking, how is he going to rectify his mistake? How is he going to? Me, I don't want you to ask how is he going to rectify the mistake. Ask me, how is he going to enter inside? I will tell you as a prophet, how is he going to enter inside? Only one, a demonic way. If you're a spirit, you just shoot and enter. You do whatever you do. But personal, they will arrest him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Except if he wants to be a hero that went to prison and say, no, I'm a hero. You know, there are people who want to be celebrated in wrong things. You just say, let me go to prison so that people, they see I tried. By that time, God, he was instructing Botswana people, not Kama, but Botswana people. He was telling them again that you still have chance to rectify and correct before you do it, put your politics in a wrong path. You understand? So if that woman that I saw that she ran away, why? Meaning there is pressure in the country. Because I read that she said she was interrogated by a rule of law and blah, blah, blah. I say, you see now where it's going. But by that time, 2019, can we count years from 2019 to now? We just say 20, 21, 22, 23. It's 4 years and some months. So do you think that God must be waiting for you to think after 4 years you start doing whatever God wanted you to do? It's impossible. It's impossible. All right. I want us to go to the another last prophecy. We hear what God said. Because I want to explain these things, because Botswana people, they were saying, no, you are new. No, I'm not new on this. Because you won't be having maybe data to go down and check all these things. Right, play. Hallelujah. Right, I will pass here. I want to say something. Hallelujah. You pray for this man, the former Botswana president. If he plans to go back to Botswana, you know, politicians. Politics is like someone who's smoking tobacco. Then when they tell you that your lungs are dead, doctors they say don't smoke again. You will enter under the blanket and continue what? Smoking. You are hiding for people, but you are not hiding. You are not saving your lungs. Hallelujah. So politics is just some sickness, like lung problem of people who are smoking. They cannot quit it until they die. All right. So hold it there. Prayers. Hear how I put it. Politics, they cannot quit it until they what? They die. That's the word that you are supposed to hear now. Politics is a drug. That's why you see politicians, instead of quitting, no matter how they've looted money, he can move from one party to another. It's a drug. You say, no, you have made a lot of money, you are fine. Sit down, Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben say, no, now I'm planning to open my own what? Until you what? You die. When you die now, your family, when they're crying in the funeral, say, but he was supposed to quit because everything was fine. No. It is a sickness that affects. That's why you see politicians, they kill one another. No one kills each other than politicians. Politicians, they kill one another too much. And politicians, they want to be on top all the time. Same face. Same people. If you go on YouTube and check the prophets of Kenya, the vision I saw, I worked with those two people, the president, current president, and the opposition Odinga. And remember what before Kenya they went to election. I saw a strange man with a suit. I didn't even know that man. Our God was telling me that the one who ruled is not these famous names, but one that among them that will be picked from the back to front. That's why you see, no matter he won in Kenya, they will still say, no, he didn't win the election, they rigged and whatever. You understand? Because they wanted these popular people to what? Yes, because they want to see same names rotating in one place. Here I'm saying politics is like a drug. And they don't quit all politicians until they what? They die. That's where we are going now to Botswana. He's vowing in SABC saying, I will make sure, I will make sure, I will make sure. You understand? But God 4 years ago, he gave you the same platform that you can correct this, you are still here. You never corrected that. After 4 to 5 years, do you think that your enemy is sitting down still waiting for you to strike, then they will strike? No. You can't remove banana on somebody's mouth. It doesn't work like that. When they test power, they learn evilness. Take a pastor. Now, put a pastor in parliament. Take an innocent pastor now, or innocent prophet, put him in parliament. In 2 months, you hear what comes out of the mouth. You'll be even telling those people, I'll beat you, all of you here. It changes. Politics change everything. You understand? They are good before they test the power. What about when you become a president, someone say, I think that tomorrow I must bring you down? Huh? After being saluted all over the street, motorcade all over, you can't just take it like that. You see what happened in Zimbabwe. He wanted to die in office because he thinks no one deserved that. Whatever he tested, no one deserved. So those are the things that happen. Here I'm saying, God is saying to me, it's 28 August 2022. I was warning him that if he plans to go back to Botswana,